Okay, I think we can all agree that Antimatter Dimensions is a very complicated game. Because, I mean, I had to use, I'm not joking, I'm pretty sure half of my first playthrough this, I had to use the guide literally on a second tab and just see, like, was I doing this right? Because during Cell 5, which none of you will know about now, because until the series gets like episode 40, it turns out I was doing the alchemy completely wrong, so all of my glyphs were weaker than they should have been. Like, I'm gonna show you. Do you really understand what's going on here? Like one reality machines means infinity attenuation. Do you? To the untrained player, this just looks like nonsense. Like, what is eternity for E19EP? What the hell are these? So, let's write them in. I'm going in, and I'm gonna make. And this is my guide to Antimatter Dimensions YouTube style. So we're gonna start at. Hold on, my desk just turned off for some reason. I'm gonna start. Now I have cut out the first E10 to E1 heading antimatter in this first row because all it is the same thing. So we're gonna get this antimatter galaxy. This speedrun milestone reach doesn't really matter. It's just something you get for beating the game. But you can see now we're getting some antimatter per second. Now yours will not be as fast as mine because I have the 2.06 multiplier to dimensions. But all you need to know about this game, like this is the part you could easily understand this. That's why I cut it out. To the first galaxy. All you need to know is you need to dimension boost when available, and you can also galaxy when available. And I actually want to show a trick with this game. So you can see it says it 1.145 because of the galaxy, but usually it's 1.125. I want to show you something. If I'm gonna hit M, so M maxes everything because this automation you will not have this when you start. You only get that like E40, but it's all boring. And then if you hit H, we're still holding the M key. You're about to see. Remember, we don't have this tick speed automation E140, right? Watch what happens. So I'm not holding anything down, and once this gets to the E4, it's gonna buy this, and this notation is just logarithm. And see, bought it. So look, you got the first, second, and third antimatter dimensions, and so on and so on and so on. Basically, that's how the game works. Alright, so as you can see, once we reach around, so this is a trillion antimatter, which actually is tiny. Look, you see, antimatter will be 5.75 zeptometers cubed. You would have enough to make a proton. Oh, and in case you're wondering how I got this secret theme called Bliss, what you do is there are actually 10 secret themes. For example, if you import Stellar, gives you this like galaxy theme, and you can actually turn on the you can do background on, so it looks like this, or so all you gotta do is just import this and you get it there. Anyway, basically the rule is every time you can dimension boost, you want to dimension boost, because especially for that because you can see really set your dimension to unlock the next dimension, and each dimension is exponentially more powerful than the last. So problem is it does reset everything for just a 2 times multiplier for the first dimension for the first one, so it does start off weak. But the reason why I cut out getting to the first galaxy is just because it's just this but slower. Like you can see, by an antimatter galaxy achieved after 4 hours. So yeah, just know it will take 4 hours to the first galaxy. It only takes around 2 for the second galaxy, and then after that you reach the first prestige layer. So it does speed up, thankfully. And you can see here now we can get the 5th dimension for purchase. I'm usually getting an achievement called 5-dimension antimatter punch, but obviously since we've done all this, I don't get anything, which is hair because this video would literally just be called Antimatter Episode 1 Dimension Boost Research, because of how slow it gets. Like you can see, it took 26 minutes to get this, and then 49 minutes for the 6th. Yeah. The 7th and 8th dimensions, though, are much faster resets, thankfully. And then you unlock Sacrifice afterwards, which is this. But yeah, you can see now we have 150 4th dimensions. Alright, so you want to get the next dimension boost. Alright, here it is. We got to do 25th dimensions. So it's time to reset dimensions to unlock the 6th dimension and give a temperature multiplier dimensions 1 to 2. Boom, now we can, and now it starts again, but now we're getting 8 a second. And usually it'll be 4 once again, 2 times multiplier. But just, all of this applies to the first reset as well, the first galaxy reset. It's not going to be any different. 90. Yeah. Okay, there it is. That's 10 dimensions. Basically, it's the same reset as before, so I think I'm just going to cut to right as I'm about to get the next dimension boost reset, because it's literally the exact same thing. Alright, here it is. This is the 3rd dimension boost, and the reason why I cut out the second one is because it's basically the same as the first, except now you have the 6th dimension. This one is special because the 7th dimension is really OP. And you can see how much faster it's gone already from the last run. Already 3rd dimension. And the 3rd, and also each dimension is more powerful than the last, not just because it unlocks a new dimension, but because, look, now it's reset to go multiply to dimensions 1 to 4 instead of just dimension 1. So next, in the old version of Antimatter dimensions, the first 4 dimension boosts were called dimension shift to unlock a new dimension, but now they're all just called dimension boost. The other one was way more different. I think I like the colouring of the old art style more, but this is what the old art how it looks like basically. I'd say it looks alright in my opinion. I definitely think I do like the new one more though. I like the design of the new one more. Alright, and as you can see, it's the 5th Antimatter dimension. 7th Antimatter dimension. And this dimension is the first one that's really powerful. Because you can see how fast we're already getting back to the 19. After you get to the 8th dimension, there's no 9th dimension. It goes to, you see, 148th Antimatter dimensions instead of 9th dimensions. And so instead, once you get 5 dimensions, you unlock this dimensional sacrifice. Also, this news ticker, it does nothing. There's nothing except give you an achievement, but you get that for free at the speedrun start. Right, like you play, and this you've completed the entire game online. It does not take 1 year, 30 days, 7 hours to beat the game. I had that because I was doing it really poorly, and I had offline progress enabled, which does. You can see already up to the E21 now. I had offline progress enabled, which made it look like obviously I played 1 year. Okay, you can already see we can do enough dimension boost. It's been like 5 minutes, and obviously my save it is faster than what you'd usually be at because I get the 2x to multiply, but still, like you'll see it only takes about 18 more minutes to get the 8 in like pre-galaxy. Before you have the 2x multiplier. But you can see already how fast this is going to get. I'm going to cut to now when we actually start to get to dimensional sacrifice, because that's the first thing that might need explaining. Because if you do this wrong, like if you sacrifice way too early, it takes like 5 minutes just to get back to where you were before. Alright, here we are at the dimensional sacrifice. So, as you can see, boosts a antimatter dimension by x4. However, in the process, I'm just gonna. Also, I'm gonna have to blur this out in editing because obviously I don't want my name to be doxed. See, so you want to do it when it's over 5. Well, I don't want my surname to be doxed because my first name is just Nathan. Don't really care. But yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, you can see it reset all the antimatter mentions, but this 8th antimatter mention is now way more powerful than all of the other ones, which is very nice, I must say. But the problem is, well, of course, that you see it doesn't give you another 5 times multiplier. It's just the 1.5 times onto the 5 times, so it'll be 7.5, which obviously is not worth it to reset the entire all of these. It will take a while. Now at my stage I can probably get away with a 2x multiplier, but that's just because I have a galaxy. But when you're doing this, you won't have a galaxy, so obviously you should not do it unless it's over 5. Okay, so I've decided to cut to here because usually this E129 is when you get the first galaxy, and basically this also applies to the second galaxy. You always want to get the galaxy before the 9th dimension boost because it will be so slow. But now, of course, I can just get the dimension boost because I already have a galaxy, and you can see this inflation. But this won't happen if you do get it before pre-galaxy. So Antimatter Galaxy is 1, so as you can see, we are now at the point where we can get a second galaxy, and like I said, you always want to get a galaxy when you have a chance. Now, it does reset everything, unfortunately. Back down to 10. Now, literally, the only row is this go infinite of 100 antimatter. And this is where I'm going to end the video off, and tomorrow you're going to see this power of 2 galaxies. Well, probably not tomorrow, when the next episode comes out, I mean.